I'm streaming. Hello, hello. I don't know if this is on yet. Okay, it says I am live. So let's hope that's true. Let me say hello in the chat, maybe. Look at what? Oh, awesome. Oh yeah, I just got a heart. Hello. All right. I'm trying something new with the camera, so that's cool. I lost my little, oh, here it is. My little computer glove for when you use your drawing tablet, or when I use my drawing tablet. All right, so I'm doing a live. I am going to, we don't want to save this. I'll save it. Save it as thumbnail. Sorry, 1 second. Bop, ba, da, bop, bop. Save. Okay. We're coloring Fenton, this deer that I drew for a live in Sketch-A-Day May. I really like him. He doesn't need that much cleanup. I think you can see I did a rather clean job around the edges. I'm pretty proud of it. It seemed like it came out, I haven't watched the video, but it seems like it came out pretty fast, pretty straightforward. And that's great. So I'm just going to erase some of these sketch marks here, and I'm going to get right to coloring. I am going to color, let's color these flowers first, just to give us something to start with. I'm going to make a new layer here, and I'm going to come in, and I'm going to do these, I was going to do them yellow, but are they tulips maybe? Nah, I did them yellow. Tulips can be yellow. Tulips can be all sorts of colors. That's why they had that weird boom in Holland in, I don't know, some year. Gosh, when was that? The tulip escapades. You learn about it in like economics. Oh yeah, look at these tulips already. So let's get some green. We'll do some like really neon-y green for Fenton here, because let's make it's early spring. And so you really want some very green in early spring, like this yellow green. There used to be a crayon that was called spring green. It wasn't quite this color. It was sort of like that color, this color here. Oh, hang on, my chat is, here we go. Hey, Roger Rodriguez. Hey, hello. Welcome. What? Yeah, that's what I said, isn't it? Sorry, Roger Martinez, Best Dever, Oddfud. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so we've done a little bit of this. We're going to throw a little grass in, and then we're going to work on. You know what, I'm going to do the grass on a different layer, just in case I want to change it or it's broken. I'm just going to come in, just kind of do a little scribble for now. And we can come do something later with that. Whoa, somehow I got all the way over to gray. Okay, it's back. Okay, and then we'll do some, I'm gonna just color the deer colored, I think. I often do like a human prop with the animals that I draw, but I didn't do a human prop this time. So I'm just gonna go for it. Let's get some, we'll do an undercoat, which is when you paint underneath with a different color to start, a color that you're not necessarily going to use in the end. I'm just going to check. Okay, not that one. So what I'll do for the undercoat is you're supposed to do a complementary color. So what I'm going to try to do is get the color I want the deer, a nice little brown, let's see, something like that. Yeah, that's a good start. Oh, let me, somewhere in there. And now I will invert it, invert it, and that'll give me this blue, and then that will be the undercoat that I will use. And that will allow the shadows to be created more naturally. So let's give him this blue. Oh man, I didn't draw the blue. Let's give him this blue. Let me get out a regular brush. I'll do the black pen. Get my swatches out here. Here we go. We'll get this brown and then invert it. And I will grab that color this time so I don't forget. Okay. That's not really there. I don't know what's showing up. Let's do the blue. I'm going to use this brush, which is like a little watercolor brush. I'm going to choose the blue. And we're going to give this deer an undercoat. Let's just come in, and basically it's like a wash. We just want something that helps make the final drawing look more, oh man, there we go. It helps make the final drawing look more deep and rich and essentially more realistic. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be super clean or anything like that. Where there are shadows, I am doing more, and then hopefully that'll kind of make the shadows paint themselves as I start adding the overcoat, which will be that brown. Okay. Here we go. Let's get that brown in there and start doing the regular deer. Okay, so this is an illustration I did for Sketch a Day May. I did this on a live, and now I'm just coming in and doing the color for him. I'll clean up a little bit of these like extra words and stuff. The reason he's blue is because I did a complementary undercoat, which is something you do in uh, like watercolor and stuff. I should have made the brown on top another color so that I could get its mixing properties separate, but I forgot. I said another color, I meant another layer. And so I'm just going to go with what I have. Deer are a little bit more yellow, so I'll probably come in with some yellow and get that right after this. Right after I finish this little cute face. This cute little face. All right. I forgot I'm on camera. This is my first time doing a drawing video on camera. I don't think I'm going to do it again. Might be a little too much yellow. I'm just going to back out of this. And I'm going to do a new layer. I'm going to do the yellow a little bit less intense, a little more conservatively. You know what, I'm going to come back with that brown actually. There's a little too much blue right in here. There we go. Back to the yellow. I do like how the yellow's looking. All right. I don't hate it. I don't love it either. The beauty with digital color is you can manipulate it after it's down on the page. And that is what we're going to do now. I'm going to open up. I don't know, I don't think you guys can see the dialog boxes. I haven't been able to get the stream to recognize them. That's okay. Here. Oh, let's get just a little bit of lightness. So we can adjust them all the way over here. When you do different colors, you can really see like how, like where the depth and complications are. I think it's fine for now. Let's keep layering instead of trying to fix it another way. A more classic solution would be to just continue on the path. Maybe he's a little too red. I'm coming with this cooler brown. Okay, I do like what I'm seeing here. Oop. Okay, now I'm going to come in with some white. We're going to get these. I'm switching pencils to a, you can see this pencil has like, it keeps going to red. I do not know why. It has like a different texture. It's not so much watercolor. We're going to come in here and just bring some white to the ear. We'll do the same here. We'll do the same to these little spots. I'm going to up the opacity and make it more intense. Bop. Let's make it more, there we go. So I also think we're losing a lot of the pencil work, which I really like on this guy. So I'm going to just kind of bring it forward by changing the mixing layer of the main color to multiply, which will allow darker colors to shine through, but shouldn't affect it where it's on the white page. Do a little cleanup on the tail. On the hind leg. Oh, yeah, left on red face reveal. All right. Not bad. Don't, like, hate it. There's something in the color of the, I take the yellow out, doesn't help. I take that out, that helps a little bit. I think I lost it with this brown color, just my first pick. So nobody's here. So I am going to just redo this guy. With just a little bit more precision a little bit lighter. Oh, I really want the paper to bleed through. I wasn't really focused on that on the last time. I was focused on the undercoat. Great system, maybe not for digital color, at least not in this program. There's other programs where it will mimic like what watercolor actually does and how it mixes on a page. Maybe it would be good in that. But I think for here, we have to do something a little bit more, maybe not more realistic, but we have to follow the rules of the situation we find ourselves in. That's okay. Here we go. If this was paper, we would have had to draw this guy all over again, or taken a blotter or something to the actual paint and the actual page. But luckily this is digital. We can just hide the layer and come back in and start all over if we really don't like something. Make this a little bit smaller. Okay. This looks much more the color of a deer, which I am much happier with. Come in and do the face. I'm just going to color over the nose, over the eye. I'll come back with black and do that. Make it tiny and get the outside of the ear. Make it really small and get the outside edge. Come in here and get the connection to the antlers. Here we go. We don't want to hide that pencil work. Okay, now let's come in with black, like I said, and let's just really saturate the nose, get that shape right. You know, I'm going to switch pencils for this. I'm going to switch to a more pencil. This pencil always turns red. There we go. Come in here more saturated on the nose and the eye. With the eye, I do want to stick with the shape that I've already laid down. I really like that. Too small. There we go. And we can come in and do the highlight with just white afterwards. Double it up. Make it really black. Yeah, I don't have to follow the highlight perfectly because we will just redo that with white. Okay, I'm just going to grab that white now. Oop, let's make this very opaque. Lots of paint on the brush. Okay, and we'll do a tiny one in here for the reflection and just around the edge here. If you do the reflection on the edge here, it really helps bring it to life. Something about it, I don't know. I don't know the reason why, I just know that it does. Okay, we'll come back to, whoa, so opaque. We'll bring everything down, the flow and the opacity, And we'll come in here with a more solid brush than the watercolor brush we used to lay down this color originally. We'll just kind of come around and do the edges where we want things to pop. What I'm doing is I'm trying to be careful to not do it so hard and straight that you get a line like you do right here. I'm just going to undo that. Kind of do it very light, moving around a lot. So instead you get this faded effect coming in. An ombre, I think it's called. Ombre? Ombre just means man. Ombre means man. Ombre means hungry? All right. Oh, so I'm sort of following where the lines already are. For good reason, right? Those lines were drawn in order to separate three-dimensional shapes out from the surrounding paper, the surrounding everything, and they would be the same color, right? Like the deer's leg and the deer's body are the same color. So sometimes you use a line to separate where there's things of different colors, like the flower, right? You, you draw the line between the leaf and the petals. But sometimes you draw a line because your brain says those are different shapes. They're not of the same thing, right? The leg is sort of separate from the body, so you draw this line between them. Even though if you saw a deer proper, oop, I've somehow started erasing. There's not really a line here. Maybe in some lights there would be a shadow, but in general, it's just the same color, it's the same animal, it's the same deer. There's like red on this, and I don't know where. Is this it? No, that's the green. Maybe it's the layer I'm working on. Okay, I think this is a much better representation of the deer. This is still a little yellow in this. Oh, I can get rid of the yellow. The yellow was something I added on after. Okay. I don't hate it, which is good. I love not hating things. But I am going to come in here with the watercolor and just try to even out the center bit where there's a lot of light. I don't want it to be too dark. I do like that you can see the texture, but it's also it's not shiny. So I'm just kind of trying to bring it more in line. I think that's good. I did it. Okay. So now I'm going to do antlers. I'm just going to look up what deer antlers look like. Oh, I was scared for a second. You were going to see all the programs I have installed. And you call me a dork. Okay. Yeah, like white, but that got really dirty. So it's already white. So we're just going to get it dirty. So let's find a nice pencil. Ooh, we can do chalk. That'll have a nice texture to it. That's pretty good. I'm going to do the chalk. I'm not going to be able to like get the very detailed, like kind of swirly, swoopy pattern or like complicated line pattern that a lot of deer antlers have. So instead, I'm just going to get this. I think this is a pretty decent compromise. I think it'll look pretty good from a distance. We'll check that out in a second. Let me just finish getting this pattern, this texture down. I did this on the main color layer, which I wouldn't have if I was paying more attention, but that's okay. It's pretty good. I like it. I think probably the inside of the ears aren't white, so I'm going to change that. And then I am going to do a little bit more detail on the grass, and then I'm going to call it a day. So I do think the inside of the ear is lighter in a lot of ways. Hey, the pencil changed. Where's my pencil? Okay, there we go. It's like the inside of ears, animal ears, is like lots of little hairs to like block everything from getting in there that's not sound. So I'm going to kind of mimic that. Spin this around. And I'm not drawing the little hairs, which are usually very light in color, very white even. I am drawing the other part so that the hair is like the stuff in between my strokes. Ah, I like that. Okay, pop up. Okay, let's crop this down a little bit. Let's work on composition. I'll bring this, let's have the grass be the bottom of the frame, like that. Yep. And let's bring everything else out. Come on. We'll just make it wider. We can do that. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to add a little paper to the background. Oh, that's fine. I didn't realize I was asking it to autofill. What I'm really going to do is take this paper I have as a background, which, here I can just show it. This paper. Here it is. We'll move it to one side. We will copy and paste it. There's something weird going on with my controls. Here we go. I'll just bring everything else back. This is just the color. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is just the color, just the nose and the eye. Just the what is this? Oh, the white and the little, wait, no. Oh, that's pretty good. Well, that's good. The grass and the flowers. This is everything without the line work, which is cute. Line work. All right, let's erase this Fenton. So we're erasing this layer and it's looking like paper because we just put that paper beneath it. All right. You know what we can do? Whoops. Let's see if we can get a believable paper out of this. Let's look at just the pencil layer. We'll duplicate it and put it at the top. Okay, we're looking at, What's on top of that? Okay, we're looking at just the pencil layer. I want to get a really dark bit of this pencil layer so I can try to match the color. Okay, it's pretty dark. It's a gray. It's a gray blue. We're going to make it even darker. And now when we use a pencil, it's pretty close. This is the digital pencil, and this one above it is the regular pencil. They're pretty close, which is really good because what I want to do is add in some pencils. Whoop, so flying around. Okay, add in some pencils for this grass. I'm going to just do it on the pencil layer. It's not quite as easy as using a real pencil, but something sloppy like grass like this, it's not terrible. Especially because I'll come in with some green and I'll try to fix it up. We can add like something interesting and tall in the background here. Sort of something back there. A little one over here. Maybe they're flowers that are just further away. Maybe there's little bugs flying. Okay. Now we'll come in with that green. This must be this one. Let's give that a new layer just so we don't. Ooh. It's a little intense. Let's bring the opacity down. You know, I want it. It's fine. I was going to see if I could try to get it to have a pointy end by having it so the brush changes shape with pressure on the tablet. But then I noticed the rest of the grass doesn't do that. I don't want to redo the grass all, at least not tonight. I wanted to start this live hours ago, but I totally, oh, my chat's hidden again. Oh, guess what? Nobody said anything. But I ended up filming a different video, which I'm actually really happy with, so that was really fun. Aw. All right, let's put a little yellow in it. I like it. I think we'll call it more or less a day. I am going to try one thing that I like to do sometimes, which is I have a brush I used to use for coloring the background on more like a black and white political cartoons, but let's try it with a really dark blue and vibrant blue and see if I can get something sky-y out of it. What the heck? We'll give it a second and then we'll see what happened with the streaming and the. Can you see my mouse is like, it's really struggling. I'm getting the, what is it, like mind your business? Patience, be patient. What did I say? Okay, yeah, so we can move it above that, and that's not terrible actually. And we'll just come in here and we will create a vector. You like that? We can even see if it will auto-select just the deer. Will it? No, not really. But that's okay. Here's what we can do. We can get just a fat, nope, a sharp black pen. Just come in here and go, wait, why isn't this working? Should it be white? No, black. What if I was here? Would this work? Okay, something's funny. Let's try it again. Will it work now? Oh, yep. Okay. Just, I mean, this is probably too much work for this little illustration because I probably will not print it with this blue background. But let's see it anyway. Let's see this through. So the reason I do this pen, and you can make it nice and big, it has a very sharp edge. So if I, push down, it's a nice sharp clean edge. But I can also get into the detail by just being very light on it. You can control the shape, the size rather, just by how hard you push on the tablet. And I need that. I need that so much. Yeah. There's more things. You could control the size by by such an easy manner.
Are you working blue?
Hmm?
Are you working blue?
I'm a working stiff. All right. What have I been saying? Don't hate it. Don't hate it. So one of the reasons I chose to mask this out instead of just erase it is because, see, I've overdone it here on the edge. I'll just do it like really big on purpose. See, I've overdone it. I've overdone it here on the edge. What I can do is just take white and just draw the white over top of the mask, and that gets rid of the overdone. I can just switch back to black and then keep painting with the black. Masks are something digitally that are like much harder to conceptualize and a little annoying um, when you're like first starting out, or at least it was for me. But once I used actual like masking tape and did stencils and stuff where I really had to mask things off and pieces where like basically the art of the piece was how well I had masked things, um, then I liked digital masks a lot more. Let's get the points first. There. Okay. Oh yeah. Could we also do, well, probably, but we want this too, so let me finish this. I just realized what we can also do so we don't have to really be tortured by the outline and making sure the outline is very specifically covered. So I just have to do the tail and the butt and then we're good. There we go. The butt, the back, and a little tail. So this does, when you do a background like this, it does get hard because now I have to make choices, whereas before, because you could very easily fade from the colored piece to the background, and there wouldn't be a huge disparity, right? So you can see here the before when it was all white, for instance, there's no like clear place where the tail starts and the background ends. It's kind of open for interpretation. And now that I'm masking out and having like a blue background, and there'll be a clearly delineated line where that happens. So somebody has to make a choice. And that's that somebody's the is you, or it's me in this case. But if you drew something, it would be you. Whereas like before, we could leave that choice up to the viewer. It's kind of nice. I'm a lazy artist. I don't want to make any choices that the viewer could make for me. That's true. If you let the viewer make the choices, the trick is they're going to make the choices that they think are prettiest. So you can have as many pieces of art as there are viewers, and they'll all make the choices that they want to make. Okay, now let's see. What if I do what if I do this as multiply? Did it make a difference? Well, that did. Oh, that's funny. I don't know. This is fine. Looking good. We can bring this above it and turn this to multiply. And that definitely makes a difference. So I'll just do that. All right. Here's Fenton, the shallow deer.
For okay,
Hey, for Kopek. Oh, I just deleted the pencils and I brought them back. Yep, you're just in time to see me end the stream, but I'm doing colors like this, where I take a sketch I have done recently, and geez, I'm struggling here, and I colorize it. I've been doing those once or twice a week, so if you're on the lookout, I'll be doing more of these. I have a lion with some flowers in his mouth. That's one that I know is coming up. Yeah, so check us out. Thanks so much for coming. Bye. How do I turn this darn thing? No, I'm just kidding. Stop. Yeah, if you stop streaming, you will no